Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, thank you for watching. So for today's makeup look, I thought I would do an updated everyday makeup tutorial. I honestly feel like my everyday makeup look changes pretty much every month. I almost do need to do one of these on the regular, but at the moment I'm just absolutely loving. I feel like maybe as I get older, I just prefer a much more sort of natural makeup look. I'm just sort of more learning to just love myself without makeup and just, you know, just really sort of embracing the more natural look, I would say. So this is actually a very, very easy makeup look to recreate. All the products I've used are very sort of cream based and there's a lot of sort of like blendable products and they're all so dreamy. There is a concealer in here that I feel like will change your life. It's unbelievable. I'm completely obsessed with it. And I've shared a little trick to my new eyebrow routine. So if you would like to see how I got this makeup look, then please keep watching. So I'm just going to start off with a primer, and so for this I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. It's really good. I like that it's quite lightweight, which helps with the whole kind of look that I go for at the moment with my everyday makeup look, because I just love the more sort of like skin looking makeup. It's just so much more my vibe right now, which is so weird because honestly I feel like this time last year, I was probably in that place where I was like matte skin only, I was like full glam, I was loving the real sort of like Kylie Jenner skin makeup, which obviously I still love, but I just think, yeah, there's just something about as I get older, I just love this sort of more sort of soft, natural look. So I've just got this little mark on my chin, which was one of those spots that I picked that I really shouldn't have, and it's kind of left a bit of a scar. It was one of those things that you just have like instant regret, you know, when you pick a spot and you're just like, why did I do that? And now it's left this little like, it's not even a spot, it's just like this scar that it's left, which is really annoying. So I just like to cover it up first. So this is the Nars Complete Concealer, and this is in Ginger. It's such a good concealer for covering up blemishes, and but I do love using it first. I feel like it works really well underneath your foundation. So just go over anything you might want to conceal before you put your foundation on first. Just because for today's look, I do want that more sort of like natural concealer look, which we'll get to obviously when I get to that. So I like to use the sort of coverage concealer first. So the foundation that I'm going to use today, this is the Morphe Soft Focus Filter Effect Foundation. I have gone on about this on my Instagram. I know I used it in my recent makeup tutorial as well. I'm completely obsessed with this foundation. It has potential to be one of my favourite foundations I've ever used. And it gives my skin the most amazing like glowy, dewy finish. It's just basically everything I'm looking for in a foundation at the moment. So I'm using the colour Medium 14. And I just like to put about 2 squirts on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use, this is the Morphe E63 brush, and I'm going to start by applying the foundation to my face with a brush, and I like to focus most of the product in the centre of my face, and then when I get the beauty blender I blend it sort of outwards. I just think this helps to like not make your face look as like fuller coverage. The other thing as well is I don't like to blend the foundation too close to my eyebrows. I will explain why when I get to that section. I also don't put any over my eyelids yet. I'll kind of blend over with my beauty blender. And then of course it's just taking it down my neck. So as I said, I'm just going to grab the damp beauty blender here and I'm just going to go over and blend that foundation out. So then with the beauty blender, I do take that up over my eyelid with whatever sort of on the blender. I feel like when you're going for that more sort of everyday natural makeup look, you don't want like your eyelids to be covered in foundation. So that's why I like to sort of leave it on. That's why I like to take it up to like underneath my eye, and then when I got the beauty blender I blend it up over my eyelid. As you can see, it's such a lovely coverage and it's got that real like nice glow to it. It's just, I honestly can't go on about this foundation enough, it's so good. So then I'm going to move on to concealer, and this concealer honestly changed my life. It's amazing. It's the new, so this is the new Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer. It's absolutely amazing. There's 2 reasons why I'm obsessed with this concealer. One, because it is just amazing. It's like the product itself, it just sort of like melts into your skin, whether you've got foundation on or you're just covering something where you're not having a foundation day. But it just blends in so well. It's one of the best blending concealers I've ever tried. You know, especially on those no makeup days where you try and cover up a spot or something. And I feel like you can really see when you've put concealer on. This one, honestly, it's absolutely amazing. It's so good, and I love how it's like it covers really well, but it's still quite like a light feeling concealer. so it's perfect for an everyday look. So this is 2N, and I'm going to use, so it's got an illuminate end and a correct end, so I'm going to use the correct end. So I'm going to put some in the corner and then just drag it around and then up towards my eyebrow. I must say that whole like facelift concealer has massively influenced how I put my concealer on now. You know, that one that you see on like Instagram Reels and TikTok and all that sort of stuff. But this concealer works so well for it, and it just, I think for an everyday look, as I said, I like having my, just everything looking a little bit less heavy. And then I'm just going to put a little bit above each eyebrow. And then obviously with this concealer, you can cover up those sort of sections that you want a bit of extra coverage, because it is really good. So I just like to do my chin, and then I'm also just going to do around my nose. So then for the concealer at the moment, I'm using to blend it out. So this is the Camouflage, it's actually Camouflage powder brush by Mercier, but it's so good at blending out the concealer. It's just like, oh, honestly, I cannot rate this concealer enough. The coverage, the way it blends is just so dreamy. I don't know why, it's just, whatever it's made of, it's magical. It's such a good concealer. So I just like to blend that out using the blush, using the brush, and then I'll go back in with my beauty blender. So lightly tapping with my brush, like I'm really not pressing the product in or, you know, heavily buffing it out, and it just literally does, it melts into the skin. And then using that same brush, I'm just going to do the same thing, so following the sort of direction that I've put the concealer. So then as you can see, it's like semi blended, and then what I like to do is just go back in with my beauty blender and just still blending in that sort of upwards motion, just blend it all out. And then I'm also just going to blend across and up on my cheeks as well. So I personally feel if you're going for a more sort of like natural glowy makeup, I think you can achieve it better with cream products. That's just my personal opinion. So at the moment I'm using the nude stick. So this is their sort of like contour stick in Bondi Bay. And then I'm also going to use a cream blusher, but I'll get onto that in a second. So I'm just going to apply that up here. The new position of my contour is definitely down to like TikTok and Reels and things like that, because I never thought I'd put it up there, but I love the way, especially for this more sort of everyday look, it just works, which is weird because I feel like when I first tried it up there I was like, that surely is not going to work, but it actually does. So then the good thing about this product is it's actually got like a little buffy brush on the end, so I like to just buff it out first, really sort of roughly, like don't worry too much about it, because I'm going to go back in with a beauty blender. But it's just great to sort of get a little bit more control over where you're buffing it out to. So I sort of create like a bit of a C shape on my temple. So it's sort of like from my forehead sort of down to like my cheekbone. It sort of goes like that in a shape. And then this product as well is so buildable. So what I like to do is I'll do this first sort of round and then I'll blend it out with the beauty blender. And then if I feel like I want it a bit darker or a bit more colour, I'll just go back in and do almost the same thing again. So that's the first layer. As you can see, it's given like a really soft, subtle contour, which I love. I might just put in, I'll just pop on a little bit extra just so you guys can see sort of how you can build it up. And then the other place that I like to put this is just sort of like in my crease towards the end, and then I buff that out later. Sort of about there. Bit of a weird place to put it, but I just like it because I'm not going to go for any eyeshadow, and it just sort of helps to give that little bit more of definition in my crease, especially, as I say, when you're not wearing eyeshadow. I obviously haven't had a chance to use this product yet away, but I think this would be amazing on holiday when you are going for that really sort of like no makeup. And then just buffing out with that brush the little eye bits that I've done. I take it up sort of like to meet the contour. So in a little bit of a line, I guess. So, and then just get my beauty blender again and just buff that. So that's pretty much the base done. As you can see, it's really subtle, and I think that's why I love it so much for an everyday look, because it's very sort of like, you've made an effort, but it looks like you haven't tried too hard. It's just, yeah, it's really great. So I thought for today's tutorial, I would actually try out, sort of a first impressions actually, because I haven't tried it yet, the Nars cream blushes. So this is the Air Matte blush. They arrived just recently, and I thought, why not try them in today's tutorial? I think I'm going to use this colour. So this is Freedom. So it's really nice sort of like rosy, reddy pink. I was tempted to go for Hushed, which is this one, but I think it's possibly a little bit too brown toned for the look that I'm kind of achieving today, because we want that sort of just like glowy, fresh makeup. So here we go, let's give it a whirl. I always get a bit nervous with a cream blush that I've never tried before, because I'm like, how much is this going to come out? Is it going to be intense? So I'm going to focus the product towards my like temple area. So I'm going to start on my cheekbone and then work the product upwards into literally like the tail end of my, oh sorry, my mirror's in the way, tail end of my eyebrow, and then up towards my temple. Oh, it's actually a really nice coverage, this. It's very buildable, which is good. I think that's important when you use a cream blush, because you don't want to go in straight away and have like a bit of a blush disaster. Oh my god, I love that. That's so nice. I love the finish that it gives your skin as well. It's very sort of, it just feels amazing. So that's sort of like one cheek with blush and one cheek without. But I think I'm just going to build that colour up just a little bit more. And then once I'm sort of pretty happy with my blush, I'm going to use the bottom end of the Beauty Blender and just go over where the blush was, just to make sure that it is nice and blended. But I also obviously don't want to use the sides that have got foundation and contour on them. So there we go, so that's blush, no blush, and I think you can just see the blush just gives your face just that little bit more life, I think. So next step is some powder. So I'm going to use, but we're just going to go for the bottom half of the face first, and I'll explain why. The eyebrows, I feel like everything's hanging on these eyebrows, literally. So I'm going to use, so this is of course the YSL pink powder that I absolutely love. It's so good. But instead of setting it as such, what I like to do is I'll just get a little bit onto my brush. This brush is this is actually the Superdrug B concealer brush, which is one of my favourite brushes actually, and it was so cheap, but it's such a good brush. And then I'm just going to set under my eyes and sort of like just down my nose. But I just think it's just, you kind of keep that glow to your skin, I think, if you don't do the full set. Also, if you've got like a little crease on your eye, just before you set, use like your little finger and just buff that out, and then put your powder on so that you haven't got any, you're not sort of setting in any creases. But that's pretty much where I put my powder. I'll just put a little bit on my chin and then just set my sort of top lip. But that's basically the main places that I put my powder at the moment. I'm going to do my eyebrows next, because I feel like they're a very important step, and then I'll go in and just show you the other powder that I use. So for eyebrows, I'm going to use, so this is the Anastasia Brow Freeze, which I was speaking about in one of my other videos. It's so good, but the only issue with this product is I feel like it works unbelievably well when I'm doing like a full no makeup day, so if I just really want to set my brows, but I do love it for my makeup. But the reason why I was talking about don't get foundation close to your eyebrows, I feel like this product does pick up the foundation if it's on your eyebrows, and it kind of maybe doesn't work as well, but that's fine, because that's why I found a solution around it, which is basically just like avoid your eyebrows at all costs when you're blending out your foundation. Or you can of course do your eyebrows first, but I just think doing your eyebrows first, I just think you've then got to avoid them for the rest of your makeup, and it can be a little bit of a nightmare. So I've just got a little bit on the back of a spoolie here, and starting at the bottom of my brow with the product, I'm just going to brush out the front of it first. I like to brush the front of my brow sort of on a diagonal, like in towards my like nose or centre of my eyebrows, just to give that a bit more shape. The rest of them I like to brush upwards, but then sort of like in an angle towards the end, and then I will fill them out. But basically, as you can see, because the product here is a bit more of a waxy consistency, it's an amazing product. I'm honestly so obsessed with this brow product, but because of the consistency, that's why I think it does pick up foundation or concealer if you've got it sort of around your eyebrow. I'll just come a little bit closer so you can see that eyebrow. But yeah, so that's sort of it set compared to this one. But I will just let you guys into a little bit of a secret about my eyebrows recently. So I'm completely obsessed with the straight brow, and I felt like I just couldn't really achieve that with my natural eyebrows the way they were. So I actually did shave the end, the little, and I mean like literally the tail end of my eyebrow off, and it's been an absolute game changer. I can get like a really amazing straight brow with it now. So I know I had a couple of people actually messaging me on Instagram. They were like, how are your brows suddenly so straight? And I was like, you're not going to believe me when I say this, but I did actually shave the end of my eyebrows off. But it was worth it. But as you can see, like, this is obviously then without the ends on. Like, once they're done, you'll see what I mean. But they don't look weird. Like, I can get away with the shaved ends without people thinking she shaved half her eyebrow off. But I'm here for it. I think it works. The product that I'm using at the moment to sort of fill in the tail end, which I love, is the Benefit. So this is the Foolproof Brow Powder. And then I'm using the other end of this. So this is an Anastasia Beverly Hills sort of brow spoolie thing. So you've got the spoolie on one end and then this brush on the other end, which is great. So I use that to basically create the tail end. And then I'm going to use, so in here there's like 2 shades. I use the darker shade to create the end of my eyebrow. I really need to invest in a camera lens that zooms in. The one that I use is like set, so I have to like lean forward whenever I want to do something a bit closer. It's very annoying. So brows. So I'm literally going to follow out in like more of a straight line rather than, so my natural brow wanted to go like down here. So if I go more in a straight line and sort of upwards, it just works so much better. And like you only apply like a tiny weeny little bit of like a fake tail. You don't want to kind of take it all the way out to like your ears or something. Just like a little bit and you get this amazing sort of like really straight brow, which is just a game changer because I literally like would forever stand in the mirror going like this with my eyebrow. And now I feel like if I pull it up, it's basically where I want it to sit. It's just great. I just feel like it's changed my makeup game and it does like give my face that sort of facelift look. So I'm just going to fill in the tail end of the other eyebrow. And then, so to finish my eyebrows off, I'm just going to get that Laura Mercier concealer again. And I'm just going to apply it a little bit underneath, like sort of on my brow bone, like that. And then getting that same brush that I used for the concealer, I just buff it up towards the eyebrow and take it outwards. So that's obviously semi-blended, and then I'm just going to get my beauty blender and just blend out the rest. So then to set my eyelids, I'm just going to use whatever's sort of left on this brush from the previous powder and just brush it over so that's all set, so we've got no creases. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit more of that and just set down my nose. So then the other powder that I've been loving at the moment is this Laura Mercier. So this is the Secret Brightening Powder. So it's really white. I think for like an everyday makeup look, when you don't want to bake to get that brightness, it's a nice way of getting it so that it's not too heavy. So I just put like a little dusting onto my brush and then I just like to sort of pat it in under my eyes. And it just creates this really nice subtle brightening under your eyes. It's just, yeah, it's a really nice palette and it's a really lightweight finish as well, which is great. So just before I move on to my eyes, this here is where you can add on maybe like a little bit more bronzer if you want to sort of enhance your contour. It just really is personal preference, isn't it, on how you sort of want to wear your makeup. I'm just going to grab a little bit on the end of a brush of that Laura Mercier, so the translucent but in medium deep, and I'm just going to go along my forehead just to warm it up a little bit. I've really got like such a small amount on this brush because I don't want a heavy coverage, and I might just dust over my cheeks with whatever's left on that brush. So for eyes at the moment, for an everyday look, I literally just like to put a tiny little small wing, like a really tiny wing, some strip lashes, or I just put on mascara. It really depends. I'm trying to get a little bit more into wearing like less of a heavy lash and more of like a natural lash at the moment. I do actually have these lashes that I was going to use in today's tutorial, but I've got another strip lash that I wanted to show you. But stay tuned because I'm going to do a reel on my Instagram with them and they're a game changer. So I'm going to get that up probably like in the next couple of days. So keep an eye on my Instagram for that one. But yeah, so I'm just going to do that now. So I just like to curl my lashes first. This is more just so that I can see where to put the wing. I feel like if you curl your because my natural lashes are super straight, and I think that you obviously want the wing of that I'm doing to sort of follow the direction of your natural lashes, but when you've got straight lashes like me, it helps to curl your lashes first and then do the wing just so you can see sort of the direction that it would sit. So I'm just going to use, I'm going back in with this is the Inglot Gel Liner, and this is the Inglot Gel Liner brush, and then I'm just going to apply a very small line, but I'm not going to speak while I do it because we all know the struggles of liner. So by small, I literally meant small, like really, really small. I just think it's so nice for like an everyday look, just to have that tiny little definition, but not like anything too heavy. And obviously it goes without saying, probably one of the easiest winged liners you'll ever do. So just thought I'd show you quickly, just with a little coat of mascara on this side. This mascara is the Their Real Magnet by Benefit Mascara. It's actually really good. I mean, my natural lashes really are just not the best things in the world. Maybe they'll get there one day, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to embrace them a bit more, but I just think, I don't know. I just don't think they ever look quite right. I think that's why I'm just such a strip lash girl, because they've always been so straight and like just not very full. So I've always just been obsessed. But I thought I'd just show you that if you wanted to just do a coat mascara with that little wing and just leave it at that, you could do. So I just popped some strip lashes on. I think these ones are like the Ardell 3D wispy ones or something, but I basically cut them so they're just a corner lash. I cut the inside off so I keep the wisp on the end. I'm just going to apply some highlighter. For this I'm going to use, so this is the Becca Cosmetic Champagne Pop. Also, how do we all feel about the fact that Becca Cosmetics is closing down? I mean, that was honestly saddest news of 2021 so far. What am I going to do without my champagne pop? Who knows? So I'm going to use that, and then this is the Sephora Pro Highlight brush. But I just put like a really light dusting on. Like, I don't sweep in the concealer pot. I sort of like dab the brush in, just so I've got like a tiny bit on there. Because as I say, we're going for a more natural look. So I don't want to look like I've got like a lot of highlighter on. And then I focus it like sort of on the very top end of my cheekbone, and then push it into like where my temple is. Again, by just dabbing, and I'm just going to go above my brows. This is just the perfect way to get that really glowy makeup look. I think it's just those sort of really subtle bits of highlight just help to make it look super glowy. And then I'm just going to use a pencil brush and just do the centre of my nose, but again super lightly, and then a tiny little bit on my brow bones, just like right under my eyebrows. And then I'm going to set my face just before I do lips, because I like to do 2 coats of the setting spray just to get that really glowy skin. So this is the Morphe Pick Me Up Face Mist, and it's so good for setting your makeup but creating a dewy finish. And then for lips, I've just put on a mixture of, so I've got the MAC Cosmetics, this is the Boldly Bare lip liner, and then the lipstick on top, of course, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one that I use in Tease. This is the satin lipstick. I just think this colour is like a bit more sort of fresher and slightly more that natural way than just like my standard nude. I wanted to try like a semi different lip colour combo. I mean, I don't stray too far away from the normal lip combos, but you know, I've mixed it up. I've chosen a different lip liner today. So there we go, guys. This is the finished makeup look. As you can see, it's really like just fresh and glowy, and I'm just obsessed with it at the moment. And basically any YouTube video that I'm doing or Instagram picture, this is probably what I've got on my face. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this one and that you've maybe been inspired to try out some of the products. In particular, please get your hands on that Laura Mercier concealer, because it's just unbelievable, and I feel like you guys will love it. And of course the foundation. I know that some people were asking about whether it launched in the UK, because I was sent it as a PR package. I'm assuming that it would be now, because I got sent it a while ago, so I'm really hoping that this foundation is available for you guys to buy, because it is amazing. But give the video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed and you like this makeup look. I will of course link all the products I use in the description with shades and all that sort of stuff. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.